Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I'm Verena Borell. I work with evolutionary astrology and I'm a student of somatic experiencing. And in this video, I'll talk about the astrological transits and energies of Libra season. And we are also in eclipse season. And yeah, it's getting very transformative, very deep, but also very healing. And I highly recommend you to stay until the end of this video because at the end, I share beautiful offerings with you and 2 free gifts. So stay until the end. But yeah, let's dive in. We are in Libra season already. This video comes a little later than usually. So the sun entered Libra on September 22nd, and the sun stays in Libra until October 23rd. Then Scorpio season starts. And we have a solar eclipse in Libra on the south node on October 2nd at 10 degree 5 minutes Libra. And then we have a full moon, which is no longer an eclipse, in Aries on October 17th, and it's in 24 degree 35 minutes Aries. And these are Central European times, so I'm living in Austria. It might depend where you are living in the world, if the full moon and the solar eclipse are exactly on these dates. So check it, double check it with your time zone. And also during Libra season on October 9th, Jupiter stations retrograde in 21 degree 20 minutes Gemini, and Pluto will station direct on October 12th on 29 degree 39 minutes Capricorn. What does that all mean? I'll share with you in a second. But first of all, Libra. Libra is such a beautiful sign. It's an air sign. It's Venus young temple. So Venus rules Taurus, which is more her yin side, which is all about the relationship to oneself. And then Venus also rules Libra, which is a yang energy, which is more extrovert energy, which is an air sign and a cardinal sign. And it's all about ourselves in relationship with a counterpart, with the world. And Libra comes after Virgo in the zodiac and in the natural cycle of the year. So the sun is first in Virgo for a month and then comes into Libra. And in Virgo, we really learn to be whole unto ourselves, and we learn self-sovereignty. And I highly recommend you to watch my Virgo and eclipse season video to dive deeper into these energies. In Libra, we enter relationships on the basis of our Virgo learnings, the learnings around self-sovereignty. So Libra is all about equal and balanced relationships. It's this deep, deep wisdom that as human beings, we can self-develop in a relationship. So it's very much about mirroring each other. It's about learning more about yourself and becoming more self-conscious because a counterpart mirrors you. It's really about seeing oneself in the mirror of another person. It's about growing together, learning to balance your needs with the needs of another person. That might be in a partnership, that might be in a friendship. Libra is really about all relationships that we can have, even the relationship to our projects, to our work. And Libra is really about the wisdom and the mastery of duality and polarity. What do I mean with that? So Libra is a cardinal sign and it's an air sign. That means with Libra, we really enter into the sphere and into the realm of relationship. So the first 5 zodiac signs are pretty much about the ego development. And then in Virgo, we start to be in service for others. And in Libra, we are really entering this field of relationship. And in Libra, we also learn, or we learn to master, or we learn to manage. And we have this deep knowledge and wisdom that planet Earth is a planet of polarities. There are duality and polarities and opposites on planet Earth. There are other dimensions and other universes where that might be not the case. But hence your soul signed up for incarnating on planet Earth in a human body. You are faced, sometimes challenged, with all of these Libra topics around duality and polarity, even though your Pisces parts don't like that, because your Pisces parts really feel that we are all united and everything is interconnected. But in Libra, we really learn that there are dual and opposite and polar sides. So even in the zodiac, we have the opposition. So Libra is opposite Aries. Cancer is opposite Capricorn, and so on. Inside of yourself are 2 or more parts that have sometimes contradictory needs. There is day and night, there is black and white. I mean, in Gemini and with Aquarius, we learn that there are even more than just 2 sides, that there are many perspectives and standpoints that you can have. But in Libra, it's really about this black and white, this dual nature that we are confronted with on planet Earth. And Libra is about balancing extremes. So I think it's a big misunderstanding that people might think that in Libra we are already in balance. I think that Libra is so much more about feeling all of these extremes, feeling these dualities, feeling these polarities, and learning to find a balance. And I really invite you to maybe reframe your idea about balance and harmony, because I think in Libra, and you can also envision the image of the scale. A scale is never, balance is never something that is fixed. So it's always about a dynamic balance, finding a dynamic balance. And I think the learning with Libra on planet Earth as a human being, as part of this dual realm, is that we are learning to be more and more in this dynamic balance and less in the extremes. Where whenever we are in an extreme, it becomes over time very unhealthy. You can start with yourself. When you are in the extreme of working, doing all the time, then you are getting burnt out over time. When you are in the extreme of resting, sleeping your whole life, then a part of you gets very frustrated because there is a spark that wants to come out of you. And sometimes in life, we need to be in an extreme because we have been in the other extreme for such a long time. For example, staying with my example of burnout versus rest, when you had years of overworking, it might be important that you have years of just resting to then find a balance that actually nurtures you. So this is a very simple example that maybe you can relate to. It might be less extreme. It might be that you have worked 2 days very hard and then you know that you need 2 days to rest. Or you have worked in the afternoon very hard, so you know that tomorrow in the morning you will sleep longer. So this is just one example, but there are many, many other examples. For example, that you have been very long in a relationship. And then you have the deep, deep need to stay single for a time, to find back to yourself. And that actually is the bridge to some Libra shadows that I will talk about very soon. But in Libra, we really, and I really want to highlight this, that you can ask yourself the question, okay, in my life right now, where I'm in extremes, and where is it time to find more balance? It's the same. I said in the beginning that I'm a student of somatic experiencing. So I do my 3-year-long practitioner training, my professional training with Somatic Experiencing International. And I learn a lot about the nervous system too. And we can have these extremes in the nervous system, the extreme fight-flight response, and then the extreme freeze response. And it's all about all the collapse, and it's all about really, it's never about staying regulated all the time. It's never about being calm like a cucumber 24/7. Never, ever. It's about finding more balance and coming back to a balance quicker, and not staying in a stress and panic response or in a freeze and collapse response your whole life. So a healthy, quote unquote, nervous system has a dynamic balance. We are getting activated and we are calming down. We are getting activated and we are calming down. So this is this very natural pendulation between extremes, so that they are less extreme and we can manage them better. So this is actually Libra work, pendulation. And I think that Libra is also very much about this extremes or dualities or polarities inside of yourself, outside. So that there are always 2 or more sides to a thing. There are always many perspectives that you can have, sometimes even parts inside of you that have, as I said already, this contradictory needs, where you can learn to find a balance within yourself. For me, it's often that I have this fiery Aries parts who want to, who have a big mission and want to change and have impact and do things. And then I have my Taurus sun that needs rest. So it's really about, for me, balancing these opposite needs on a daily basis. It's also about the wonderful ability to see and hear and understand the other side. I think in Libra, it's really so beautiful, and we all have Libra in our chart. And there are some folks who have a lot of Libra energy, and maybe you are one of them. And these are often people who really have the ability to listen, to see, to understand the other side, to have the ability to step into the footsteps of another person and see the world from a different angle. Not just from your own angle, but also from a different angle. And that is a lot of Venus work. This is a lot of not only relationship work, but also it's about compassion and empathy. But here comes the challenge. Because you can be too much focused on the other side and completely lose yourself. And you can become codependent and completely lose your power. And I'll talk about the challenges and shadows with Libra in this video a little bit more in depth, because we are still having the south node of the moon, so the collective south node traveling through Libra. The north node is in Aries and the south node is in Libra, and you have listened to me talking about that since it happened, since summer 2023. And the nodes will stay in Aries and Libra until the end of the year, and they will enter Pisces and Virgo in January 2025. That means this eclipse season, and especially this solar eclipse in Libra, is the last solar eclipse in Libra since the nodes moved into Aries and Libra. That means we are really at a point where we are slowly but surely understand what this all was about, where we are more and more able to embody our learnings, and where we are also at a point where you might have this feeling that now it's enough. I have done that, I have played the games, I have told myself these stories, now it's over. And I think this point where you really feel now it's over, I'm stepping into my greatness, that will happen at the full moon in Aries. But we stay with the Libra South Node and the Libra solar eclipse for a second longer. So we worked on these Libra Aries topics since summer 2023. And it's all about really coming into self-leadership, coming into self-sovereignty, really finding your sacred yes and your sacred no, really embracing your willpower, really embracing what you want and what you are here for, Aries, and releasing all of the Libra shadows and working through your Libra challenges, and even topics that are connected with the Libra energy, maybe from past life, from your ancestors, from your lineage, karmic topics that are imprinted in your nervous system, that are imprinted in your body. What are these Libra topics? I already said too much focusing on the counterpart. So if you grew up with caregivers or in a situation where you have been just safe, when you immediately felt what your caregivers needed, or if they are in a state of mind that might be dangerous, then you learn to overly focus on other people. So this might be less or more traumatic. It can be that your caregivers have been really dangerous because they had their problems. So it was really important for your survival to feel what they needed and how, in which mood they were, so that you could stay safe. This would be a more extreme case. I feel Scorpio in it too. Yeah, but that would be where you learn to, okay, I need to focus on my counterpart very much. And for me and my needs is no space. I really need to focus what does the other person need and want so that I can stay safe. And then I do whatever my caregiver or the other person needs. So I completely forget myself. I lose the connection to my own needs. Maybe I never learn to feel my own needs because it's always about, okay, I need to fulfill the needs of the other person. I need to appease the other person in order to feel safe and in order to be safe eventually. Another less extreme, but also very, very traumatic case would be that you learn that you are just loved and appreciated and supported when you fulfill certain expectations. Maybe you had to earn the love of your caregivers by having very good grades in school, or you had the feeling that you need to fit in a certain role, the good daughter, the good son, to be loved. And whenever you showed up a little bit too authentic and a little bit too, maybe I want this or I want that, a little bit too loud or a little bit too harsh, or even a little bit too shy and a little bit too calm, whenever you did not fit into this certain role, then you did not get love, support, affection, connection. And this is something that I always mention with Libra. Gabor Mate says in one of his books and in many, many talks, that, yeah, the human body, especially children, prefer attachment over authenticity. And this is so much about Libra and Aries. So it is important for us as children and as human beings to stay in connection in order to survive. This is imprinted in our nervous system. So in doubt, our nervous system decides to stay in connection because and repress our authenticity, repress our needs, repress our true nature in order to stay in a connection, in a relationship, so that we can survive. And as children, we often don't have the choice. We need to survive. We are dependent on our caregivers. So we learn to step into one of the biggest shadows, if you ask me, of Libra, and this is fawning. You can also say people pleasing, which is this, yeah, this very, very, very smart, and you can thank your nervous system and your body if you're guilty of that, the very smart reaction of your nervous system to appease your counterpart, to please your counterpart, to repress your own needs so that you can stay safe. So say thanks to your nervous system and to your body first, and then learn with the help of somatic experiencing or other holistic healing approaches to slowly but surely release these patterns. Because what happens if you are still acting in this and behaving in these patterns, then you will attract and you will have relationships where you are maybe always repressing your own needs, never showing up in an authentic way. And this leads, for sure, over longer time to burnout, to depression, to a deep, deep feeling of, yeah, of depression, actually. I don't know, I don't want to say it in a clinical way, but that you feel depressed and that you feel like you are not living your own life, that you feel like, oh, wow, actually, I'm just trying to fulfill expectations all the time. And I'm always in this pressure to fulfill expectations. And actually, I'm always completely out of myself. I'm not in my center. I'm not in my balance. I'm not in my core. I'm always outside, trying to figuring out what everyone wants and trying to fulfill these needs and trying to fulfill these expectations. Because when I'm not doing what my clients want, what my partner wants, what my family wants, what my friends want, then I'm not loved, and then I'm not worthy, and then I'm not safe. And when you're doing this your whole life, you completely lose touch to yourself. You lose touch to your own needs. You lose touch to the reason why you are here. You lose touch to your authentic self, and your authentic self is your mission. Living your authentic self is the reason why you incarnated. The world needs you. I say more about that with the Aries full moon, but staying with this Libra situation. So it's really about I think, a huge collective and personal healing with Libra, with the South Node in Libra. And maybe you worked on that since more than 1 or 2 years, especially if you are Pluto in Libra generation. So the South Node is in conjunction to your Pluto right now, or it has been since summer last year. Then these topics might be even more intense for you. So really, I think that all relationships, the relationship to your loved ones, to your partner, to your friends, but also the relationship to your clients and to your work, might shiver and shake where such dynamics are at place, where you are not yourself, where you are not your authentic self, where you people please, hide, fawn, adapt. So it really can be less extreme. It can be that you're just this person who always is okay with everyone, who always adapts, who always tries to piece it all out, tries to harmonize everyone, tries to balance all of the conflicts. Maybe you know this from your childhood too, that you have been the person who needed to balance everything because you needed to feel safe in your family and with your caregivers, and there was always conflict. So you always have been the person, the communicator who created peace and harmony, and your needs there was no space for your needs. You have been so busy with creating peace and harmony that you completely forgot that you are here. So there can be another shadow with Libra that might be important for you, that with Libra, we can also have projections at start, and also this topic that you expect from another person that they make you happy. Are you guilty of that? Be loving with yourself. And note, if you expect from another person that they make you happy, you give away your power. You give away your own power and your self-sovereignty. So Libra is really about these co-dependencies, where you think the other person needs you so that they can be happy, or you expect from another person to make you happy because you're so afraid of being alone. And then you are codependent. You are not your powerful, self-sovereign Aries being. And another huge topic is, and I already talked about that, I think, when your self-worth is dependent on the judgment of others. So that there is this, okay, I just feel worthy, I just feel loved when another person tells me that I am, or when I get likes on Instagram, or when I get the validation of my clients, blah, blah, blah. And also self-comparison is huge in Libra, with Libra. So maybe you wanna reflect about the way you consume social media. If you compare yourself a lot, then I highly recommend you to do it like I am doing it. I started to, I'm no longer active on Instagram. I post from time to time or share a story from time to time, but I'm no longer really active on Instagram since Virgo season. And since I have decided that, and it was a big decision, because Instagram was my first marketing channel to share about my offerings and to share a lot of free valuable content. It was a big decision, and now I'm completely focusing on my newsletter, which feels a lot more balanced. It was one of my biggest learnings with the South Node in Libra, but I don't want to go too deep into that. But what I recognized, and that is maybe important for you to reflect upon, is that since I almost left Instagram and I really focused on my newsletter and all of these other beautiful channels to share free valuable content and to share about my offerings, is that I really feel so much more connected to my mission, to my calling, to my heart, to what I'm here for, to my authenticity, to my authentic offerings, to my fire, and so much less distracted what maybe others do, or what maybe others offer, or what maybe others need. So it's very healing for me. And I have myself not in Libra, so hello. Another thing that I want to talk about is that the whole Libra season is ruled by, or not the whole Libra season, but the solar eclipse in Libra and the full moon in Aries. We have Venus in Scorpio. And with Venus in Scorpio, so Libra is an air sign, Scorpio is a water sign, it's fixed water. And it's about our unconscious, it's about our deep desires. And I have the feeling with Venus and Scorpio ruling the solar eclipse in Libra, ruling the Libra South Node, ruling the Sun in Libra. Wow, there is a completely deeper layer to all of that. It's really about clearing stuff out. It's like, it feels like an energy cleanse. So you can ask yourself, not only on a conscious level, but on a subconscious energy level, where have you given your power away? Where are you still in soul contracts with other people who might still live, who might already died, with ancestors? Where are you in soul contracts? Where have you merged your energy that is no longer serving you? Where have you given your power away? And what are actually your deepest desires? What are you really, really want and desire? And how can you bring that more into your life, more into your relationships? When you really allow yourself to desire what your soul wants, this might shake your relationships up. And this can be a relationship to another person, or to your work, or to your projects. So Venus and Scorpio, deep energy cleanse, the calling to bring your energy back to yourself. Mars, the ruler of the North Node in Aries, and also then of the full moon in Aries, is in Cancer. And it will square the full moon in Aries. It already squared the lunar nodes. And I think that with Mars in Cancer, it's also about this deep, deep healing of our lineage. And especially, I have the feeling that here's something around the women in our lineage, because there have been many, many women in our lineages who could not live their true calling because patriarchy, because of patriarchy, because women had to be the mother and the wife for centuries. And I think that there is something, maybe, especially if you identify as a woman, that there is something around healing your maternal lineage. I try to make it a little bit shorter now, because there are some other things that I want to talk about. Pluto stations direct on October 12th, and the whole Libra season, Pluto builds a trine to Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is currently in Taurus around 26 to 27 degrees retrograde, and Pluto in 29 degrees Capricorn builds a trine to Uranus. And it's huge because Pluto was in Capricorn since 2008, and then since last year, since 2023, we had this dance of Pluto between Aquarius and Capricorn. And now it started in on September 2nd. Pluto was already in Aquarius over the summer, and then Pluto stationed retrograde, and then Pluto regressed into Capricorn on September 2nd. And Pluto will station direct on October 12th on 29-degree Capricorn. And then Pluto will leave Capricorn in November, on November 19. And then Pluto will ingress into Aquarius and then stay there and not regress into Capricorn. So that means now we have the last time with Pluto in Capricorn for the next 250 years. And I have written a blog article about that. I link it for you in the description below the video. But to just keep it very spicy and short, I think that we are closing cycles right now. And that completely plays into the whole lunar node topics. We are really closing cycles. Maybe all topics show up. It's deep ancestral work. We close unfinished cycles where we lived and worked and related and loved in structures and systems and rules and roles that are actually completely unnatural to us. It's really about releasing all of these conditioning that limited you and that put you in a box, and it's about embracing all of the beautiful Capricorn learnings of self-authority, self-responsibility, stepping into your own authority, really making your own rules, aligning with your true nature, working in a way that not burns you out, but that really helps you to have energy in a sustainable way. And with Pluto in this trine to Uranus, I feel really there is something that you now want to clear out and learn and close about self-worth, abundance, receiving, your values, topics around self-authority versus giving your power away to authorities outside, structures that are in alignment versus not in alignment, rules and roles that are no longer in alignment with your Uranus authentic soul self, with your Uranus and Taurus values. So there's a deep calling to really ground into your innate self-worth, into your innate strength and self-authority, and to take full responsibility for your life. And not telling yourself old stories. You can decide now to no longer feed old patterns and no longer, tell yourself maybe the story that you are not enough, that you are not worthy, that you need to earn your money in a harsh way, that you need to repress your needs. All of these stories, we can close that now. We can stop to tell ourselves these stories. And what is so beautiful, the whole Libra season, Jupiter in Gemini is in an exact trine to Chiron. So Jupiter is in a trine to Chiron because Jupiter stations retrograde in Gemini on October 9th. So the whole time during Libra season, Jupiter is on this 21-degree Gemini and is in a trine to Chiron, retrograde in 21-degree Aries. And I have the feeling here is really this potent energy in the field of, you can tell yourself a new story, Gemini. You don't have to feed these old stories. Create your own story. Create a story that is empowered, that really comes from your healed Aries self, from this deep knowing that you are here for a reason and that the world needs your authentic self. That it is time to completely and fully step into your greatness. And now I'm coming to the full moon in Aries, and I actually share my screen. So we have first, I talked already about the solar eclipse in Libra. Here you see it on the south node, ruled by Venus in Scorpio. And you see here Pluto in the trine to Uranus. And you see Jupiter still direct in an exact sextile to Chiron. And then we have the full moon. And there we have this Pluto already direct, still in the trine to Uranus. Jupiter retrograde now, still in the sextile to Chiron. And the full moon conjunct Chiron, still sextiling Jupiter, in opposition to the sun in Libra. And we have this grand cardinal cross. Sun with Juno and Diana in Libra, Moon in Aries, Chiron in Aries, Mars, ruler of the Aries, Moon, in 22-degree Cancer, opposite Pluto in Capricorn. And sextiling Venus, by the way. And this is so powerful. I have the feeling that this full moon really says, okay, now you are done with all of these old stories. It's time to embrace, to embody your true, authentic self, the true you. It's time to really embody and own your authentic true self. And one message that I received from my guides that I really want to share with you is this sentence: the most humble thing you can do is to step into your greatness now. Why? Because when you reconnect and reclaim and come back to your true essence, to your true self, that is maybe under all of these layers of conditioning, of fears, of trauma reactions, of protection mechanisms of your system. When you come back to this true essence, to your true self, then you are doing what you are here for. Then you are really sharing your gifts and sharing your deep wisdom. And you and I, we are all so powerful. And it's part of our healing journey and also of our responsibility in a way in this lifetime to really work through all of these protection mechanisms and fears and conditioning and unnatural rules and unnatural roles that we inherited, that we have taken over, that we needed to take on in order to survive. But it's part of this journey to really work through that. And I think some layers we can really release and let go, and can say with deep, deep trust and with deep, deep strength and deep power, that is not mine. I'm not willing to take this on any longer. It comes from my ancestors. It comes from my past. It comes from anyone else, but that's not mine. And other parts, like maybe protection mechanisms that our nervous system is used to play out, or other fears or other needs, maybe vulnerable parts. I don't think we don't need to let go of them, or we don't need to release them. They are part of us. They are part of our story. They are very, very smart reactions of our nervous system. It's not about releasing them or deleting them. I think we cannot do that. It's really about learning with holistic healing approaches, for example, with somatic experiencing, to strengthen the parts of you that feel safe, that feel this power, so that you can hold the more scared and insecure parts better, so that they are not leading your life, that you lead your life from your authentic self, from your true you, and less from the vulnerable, insecure, fearful parts, and learn to hold them, and learn to really see them and acknowledge them, but not to act completely identified with them. So this is the work that we all need to do, and this is the work we are right in. Gaining self-consciousness, what are these parts, and then also embodying it more and more, embodying our true self more and more. And this is actually what my program in German language, which is called The True You, is all about. We are working with astrological archetypes, and we are working with somatic experiencing. And if that is interested for you, it's in German language. You can still sign up until October 9th. Link is in the description. But what I wanted to say is this Aries full moon is, I think, really such a powerful portal and such a powerful moment and phase in our individual and collective evolution, which brings us out of eclipse season. And I have the feeling that there is something about, really clearing out old stuff, stepping into your power, stepping into your greatness, allowing yourself more and more to be who you really are, and to say no and to say yes from your heart, to create your own structures and become your own authority, Pluto and Capricorn, before we then really open up to completely new dimensions with Pluto and Aquarius, to really find security and safety inside of you, Mars and Cancer, and to really step into relationships and create relationships and change your relationships in a way that feels balanced, that feels less extreme, where you are not completely focused on your counterpart, where you are not just in the me. Maybe you need a time where you're just in the me if you have focused so much on your counterpart. We talked about that. But where you really can be your authentic self and be in your power and decide what you need. And this might also be in regard to your business. For me, a lot of Aries work is actually to really learn to channel my fire in a way that feels good, so that I don't have the feeling that, oh, I need to fulfill the expectations of my clients all the time. I need to do all of the things, but really this, oh, wow, can I trust myself actually enough? And can I trust into my own power, into my own light, into my own self-worth? Can I root down into my own self-worth? And when I have the need to rest. This is part of being in your energy and in your power too. So be very, very curious about your Aries energies, because one shadow of Aries might be that you think that you are fiery all the time. So there is Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn who really say, okay, be in your power, step into your greatness, step into your strength, say yes and say no, learn to set boundaries, learn to say what you need, and also learn to channel your fire, learn to not burn out, learn to nurture yourself, and find structures that are sustainable over time. But yeah, the full moon is big. And then on October 23rd, the sun enters Scorpio, and then we are diving into a phase of connecting with our deepest desires. And then it gets juicy, but then eclipse season is over. And I hope that, yeah, you have a powerful Libra season, that you find a new balance, that you find the courage to be you, that you can close old chapters and write a new story that is more natural and supportive and healing for you, that you can work in a holistic way, maybe with a professional practitioner, through your trauma responses, your protection mechanisms, so that you can strengthen your inner sense of security and your inner authority more and more. And it's a lot. I know it's a lot for me too. It's especially this whole working with these old energies, maybe even with ancestral energy. So I feel the deep need to clear my whole space, because there are old energies who sometimes want to hold us back. So be gentle with yourself. We are in eclipse season. Everything that is happening for our evolution, even though it feels very uncomfortable and very scary in the moment. But you are going there and we are going there, and yeah. Let's come to my offerings that I already announced at the beginning of the video. First of all, my autumn and winter, and maybe yours, is all about transits and working and interacting with transits in a healing and empowering and embodied way. So I have a new program for you, which is called Transits for Evolution. It will start in November, and Transits for Evolution is my 8 weeks live course for intermediate and or advanced students of astrology or professional astrologers who want to deepen their relationship with transits and who want to interact with transits in an embodied and conscious way. So if that sounds interesting for you, I highly recommend you go into the description of this video and go to my enrollment page and sign up for the waitlist. If you are on the waitlist, you will receive the exclusive pre-sale price until October 16th. So the pre-sale starts probably around October 7th and then goes until October 16th, and you just get the pre-sale price if you are on the waitlist. And in my Transits for Evolution course, we will really work with transits in a very experience-based, fun way. And I will also pair it with somatic experiencing so that you really come into the body and take your body with you. And we will also have transit ceremonies where we are really in tune with the transits at the moment. And you really learn to unlock transits and to reframe maybe your fears or your scarcity mindset around transits, and really learn to interact with them in a conscious and embodied and healing way. So get on the waitlist. And now we come to my 2 free gifts for you. And the first one is a free offer. It's a free workshop about transits. So on October, as a kickoff of the official launch of my Transits for Evolution program, I give a workshop on October 16th, which has the great title, No Bad Transits, the Healing Power of Transits. So I will share some really valuable content about how I work with transits, how I see and my perspective on transits, and why, from my perspective, there are no bad transits, but just healing transits. So if that sounds interesting for you, it's completely free. You can sign up now. The link is in the description of the video. And I would love to see you there. It will be fun. I just I will chat about transits, and I mean, what I'm doing here in this video is talking about transits. So maybe it's interesting for you to have a little bit more perspective on my general approach to transits, and also this idea that there are no bad transits, and how you can unlock the healing power of transits. And my third offering for you, and my second free offering, is my Astro Archetype mini guide. You can download a beautiful guide written by me about the 12 astrological archetypes from Aries to Pisces. It's completely free. You can download it right now, and you get the PDF with short descriptions to every archetype: Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, all 12, about their potence, about their potential, about their evolutionary intent, and some short description about the energies. So get the guide, don't miss it. And I would love to also read your comments below the video. I hope the video supported you. I hope that you share the video, that you like the video, that you subscribe to my channel, that you get on the waitlist for my transit course, that we see each other on the free workshop. And I would love to hear from you. Yeah, sign up for my newsletter if you want to be updated about future videos and other beautiful offerings and a lot of free valuable content. So yeah, take care. Be gentle with yourself during these eclipse times, and I'll see you for the next video.